Welcome back to more of the Outer Worlds. I'm Negative Zero. Thank you for watching. I hope you're doing all right. Well, I've come back to town to talk to Reed. I also want to go talk to Adelaide. Just before we make our final decision about who we're going to support, I want to ask a few questions. I want to snoop around a little bit because there's too many things we don't know. We sort of plowed through everything without paying much attention. And I'm not ready to make the final decision yet. We don't know everything about the plague, or maybe that'll come in later, or maybe we're supposed to know now. I sort of snooped around. I didn't find anything in any terminals, so we're going to talk to this guy.
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it.
An option. I don't know how much we got to talk to him the first time we met him. We haven't asked him about these things, but there is a plague spot right here. So we're going to ask him about this first, probably go through everything.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
Oh, how long has the plague been happening?
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
Okay, 10 years. Let's do the medical check. Everyone gets sick. Things have been going badly these last few years. You should have developed an immunity after repeated exposure to a single strain of contagion. I like that.
Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end.
I actually want to go back. I don't know if I can do this in the dialogue tree.
Can we not?
Skip that. Oh yeah, okay. Well, you withhold medicine from your own workers.
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
Yeah, we may be picking him, probably not, but let's not be cruel just yet. That can't be easy for you.
It is not easy for me. And the moment it becomes easy is the moment I am no longer fit to serve. Spacer's choice is a family, and the survival of the family is more important than the survival of the individual.
Sounds like he's saying the survival of the corporation is more important than the workers. Is there anything else? I can ask other things, right? Yeah. I wanted to see about things going bad around town. Have you taken a look around at the town lately?
It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
How long have you worked here?
I'm trying to remember. 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change. People change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that.
Your town is falling to pieces.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
You disagree?
Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
It sounds like he's basically corporate middle management. And he's in charge of the town. He's not in charge of Spacer's Choice. He's just a guy that works for Spacer's Choice. He's a manager. And he's a jerk, and people die because of him because he has to choose who gives the medicine. But that doesn't make him evil. The town's not being run well, though.
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
He's so slimy. Oh, wait. I wanted to ask you about something else.
On your
Sorry,
mind.
bud.
Go ahead.
We have a few other things. What makes you think I can convince the deserters?
That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town.
Sometimes people move on.
Scripture tells us we all have our purpose in the world. Our work shows us that purpose. We should not have to move on from it. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on. Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible.
Don't you people eat anything other than saltuna?
Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
Wait. They don't... So they don't get the fish here, or the saltuna. I'm assuming it's a fish. It comes from another planet? So... Okay, so what are you canning?
Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate.
The prissiest of palate. That's...
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I can't say anything about... I can't go to the other path in the conversation. So that's something. All that time spent talking to this guy. The saltuna is not actually saltuna. So they can't grow plants here, except for Adelaide. And they don't actually have saltuna. And there's nothing in this. It's just... Yeah. Sick leave. Huh. Well, I think what I want to do is jump over to Adelaide. Oh, I guess I have to get out of town. And see what she has to say. Mushrooms. So they're using local mushrooms. Not, obviously not things that Adelaide has grown, but something that does grow here. I wonder if the people are getting sick from the saltuna that's not the saltuna. Is that a thing? Is the game this complicated? Am I looking too much into it? I probably am. So we're back here in the botanical garden. I have not talked to Adelaide yet. We'll do that in a minute. But I wanted to look around. I did this before, and I didn't find anything in particular. There is stuff sort of hidden away. Like, I'm not going to steal. And I wish I had, like, a Pip-Boy light or something like that. I don't think I have a flashlight of any part. Yeah, I'm just looking around. I'm snooping around, trying to find... I know there's a thing here I just found a minute ago. That's a, another shunt. But there is this terminal, so let's take a quick look at this right here. I don't think I looked at this before. And see, we've got our personal files right here, and we can hack it, because we're good like that. We are a science nerd. Let's see what she has to say. Password Silent Spring. Welcome, Adelaide McDevitt. First entry. Here we go. May the Eternal bless my first endeavor. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at Edgewater Cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational. Mostly the soil's sour. Right. We don't know what she did to the soil, but I'm going to need some powerful fertilizer. Tired of having the taste of salty tuna lingering in my tongue day in, day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out of the earth. Alright. Personal files, last entry. We found another worker from Edgewater, ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow-breathing, delirious, must have been plagued. I set him right up with a diet of greens. He was all better in a couple of weeks, physically, spiritually. He's one of our flock. Experimental notes. First entry. I'm hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automaton of the corporate machine. This greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it's cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own two hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturist failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor. I'm determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile upon my endeavors. And here's the last entry. Flora are living things as sensitive to their environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crops in this region failed because the corporate scientists tending them are cold, heartless, inhumane people acting on behalf of a sterile and inhumane power. One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach the sky under these conditions. The soil is sour, it's true. I don't know quite how to explain that. I'm sure the scienticians will say something about biology or the carbon cycle. But I can conclude after months of my own experimentation that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertilizer bursting with organic materials, just as nature intended. Yeah, we don't know what she's doing. She's love, attention, compassion. Okay, what's the natural fertilizer? We don't know. So back here is like her secret. Oh, can I read this? It wouldn't be. Yeah, that's not legible. She's so kind and grandmotherly, right? She's just automatically suspicious. What do you got in here? Some big cartridges. What is that, a stapler? Is that blood? Now she did say she fixed somebody up, but that's an older entry, right? Blood, huh? And these scissors. These are like surgical tools. Plants. Huh. Heavy ammo. I could use that. It's only 3 bullets, though. So, blood, huh? Gold teeth? Gold teeth? We're looking for gold teeth. Let's look in the inventory. Is it junk? A set of gold teeth, mostly complete. We're looking for gold teeth. Hold on. In the journal. A small grave matter. Conrad says he can't afford his fees. The foreman lady in the cannery said... Is it in here? Is it in here? Is there anything about teeth in here? Like the plan... Not Zoe. If I remember correctly, the barber in town wanted Silas, the guy outside, wanted Conrad to pay his fees. He can't afford it. We found a note from Phyllis, which I think is in the codex. Letter from Phyllis. Reception shot himself. Phyllis, I think, is the foreman lady at the cannery. This is going to ruin us, so I was thinking that we pawn off his teeth. Eugene had a full set of gold teeth. Yo, because the marauders were stealing the... No. Hold on. I think I understand. All right, so I'm so glad I did this. Adelaide is using the secret sauce to make the plants grow, but bodies have been mysteriously disappearing from the gravesite outside of town. I want to go ask Okay, before I talk to Adelaide, this is going to take a second. We're going to fast travel back and forth. I want to go ask Silas again. I thought he said it was marauders. But what if it's not marauders? What if it's Adelaide? Wait, hold on. Yeah. Let's go. What if it's not marauders? What if the secret sauce that Adelaide is using is bodies from the graveyard? This kind of makes sense. I just want to ask him real quick if I can go through the conversation tree again.
Something I can do for you?
Yeah, I found his teeth, but I have some questions. You lose a lot of people to marauders?
Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards.
Any idea where they're coming from? Because I don't think it's marauders. I think he's right. I think that was a red herring.
Couldn't tell you. No, I mean, I'm contractually prohibited from saying anything that might reflect poorly on Spacer's choice. Avoid it. Shouldn't have said that either. Look, forget I said anything.
The town must be in pretty bad shape.
You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds.
You're not worried about falling sick?
Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed.
Why would you have a cannery not even on this? See, I thought the salt tuna was just coming from this ocean. But they're coming from another planet, so that's why they have the landing pad right there. I suppose they just bring the salt tuna right in, they do the canning, they send it right back out. And the people eat it. But they don't have enough salt tuna. Okay. I'm starting to understand. I want to go, before I give him the gold teeth, I want to go back and talk to Adelaide. Because this is a thing. This is the thing. Maybe we can even get her to admit it. Let's talk. I found these gold teeth.
Anything else I can do for you?
Before we do that, let's do the same thing that we did with Reed. This might sound strange, but I don't... Yeah, let's go through the conversations is what I meant. This might sound strange, but I don't know where... I do know where I am. When we first talked, you assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
And what's that?
Remains to be seen. Might be the man that saves the veil. Might be Reed's personal gun hand.
Yep. Save the veil.
People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength, but not the will. You seem to have both.
Yeah, she's buttering us up. Why are you telling me this?
A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense, if you listen close enough. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
Yeah, and does your end of your way of life include using people as fertilizer? I can't say that. You could always continue your way of life back in town.
Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
You and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me.
There's obviously more to it than that.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
I'm guessing Reed has his own side of that story.
I could not possibly care less if he does, but you're surely welcome to ask him.
I wanted to ask
listening.
you about these teeth.
Haven't you ever seen a novelty paperweight?
Lady. Your left eye twitches when you're trying to lie.
Whatever absurd accusations you have churning about in your mind, I assure you I have heard them all.
Reminds me of this guy I heard about, someone named Eugene. He had gold teeth.
I remember a Eugene. Pleasant enough boy. Whatever happened to him?
I never said anything happened.
I did nothing wrong. The teeth were harvested from a body that went cold long before my tools ever touched it. Gold does not decompose. The teeth had to be removed. And while I am no licensed dentist, I should think I did a fair job of it.
You're using decomposing bodies to fortify the soil and help your crops along.
I cannot tell you how refreshing it is to converse with a rational mind. That's exactly right. Rot is necessary for life. A corpse is bursting with the nutrients a young sapling craves. The crops I grow here are natural, nutritious, healthy. My garden does more than fill the bellies of my flock. It keeps them from falling ill.
It keeps them from falling ill? What do you mean?
Do you see anyone ailing in my camp? Unlike the people in Edgewater, my flock don't fall sick with plague.
I wonder if there's a way, and I don't know how complicated the structure is, for us to get these people back in town. Like the golden goal, the golden result would be to get these people back in town growing plants, maybe using the dead bodies as fertilizer. I'm not sure. But that would be nice to get them back into town. I don't know if there's a way to do that, though. You could help a lot of people in town. Like, you could take this knowledge for people not getting sick. I'm sure they're getting sick because they're eating those alien mushrooms, and they need to eat these plants. You can help a lot of people in town.
I'd rather they learn to help themselves by leaving that dreadful town behind. The people in this camp all had the courage to walk away from the cannery, and you see how happy they are.
You could always teach them to farm.
The Vale's barren. Been that way for years. Soil's been sterile about as long as I can remember.
But you found a way.
All I did was follow nature's own way. Death is essential to life. When the spirit leaves the body returns to the earth from whence it came. What remains is a carcass moldering neath the soil. Decomposition is a natural process, essential to new life. All life feeds on other life.
Yeah, you've been quiet, Parvati. You have an opinion? She's using your friends as fertilizer.
Oh, I don't know. If it was me, I'd be glad to volunteer. Keeping others alive, that'd be a beautiful gift to leave. But none of the folk you used had a say. You didn't ask, ma'am. And what about my dad? I talk to his grave every Saturday. Is he even there?
Robert is just where you left him, dear. He died too long ago. By now, he's naught but a skeleton.
I need to think about this.
Whatever you say, my dear.
All right, I guess that's the big reveal. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know who to choose. Let's see how close we are to leveling up. Is that in here somewhere? Oh, top left. We just leveled up. Okay. Like, the conversation path is there. Oh, you know what we should do? We should go do the other quest. That helps this one. Find Zoe. Let's see what she has to say about Adelaide. It's a little bit of a walk. Remember, Zoe... Yeah, these mushrooms, man. They're killing the people. Everybody, give me cover.
We did it!
We are so low on bullets. Please have heavy ammo. Take it all. What is with the, oh, light ammo? I'm gonna have to... Oh, here we go. 11 is so bad. We definitely have an ammo problem. Oh, here we go. Anybody else I can loot? This guy? Whoa. I wonder if that ship will actually land at the landing pad. Alright, there are more guys.
Hey, moving out.
You go here. I'm going to switch to the hunting rifle. I don't think this does
We got this!
that much.
Nice one!
There we go. Oh, nice. Oh, there's mines. I think they all ran on and stepped on mines. Where's that dog going? All right, good job. How do I get you to follow me now?
Sure.
Are we still fighting? Get this guy's stuff. Let's go ahead and reload this guy. That's pretty nice.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Let's get the rifle back out. I am a tiny bit nervous about mines. Do you see any? I don't see any. But I didn't see any before. Let's go in here. I would love like an energy weapon. We have all the cells. Come on, laser pistol.
Nice.
Useless. Ooh, I see you, bud. Yep. Somebody else right here. I love this gun. We just need the ammo. Ooh, hello. You just stood there and watched all those people get killed? Alright, so this is the lady. This is Zoe. Who took a little too much in the way of drugs. She fled the botanical lab and the cannery in Edgewater. And she became a tough raider lady.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
You're Zoe? Your people are looking for you.
What, you mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
I need you to clarify something for me.
I'm great at clarifying.
Are you a prisoner?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
I'm impressed. How did you pull it off? I think she said that she gave them some food from Adelaide's place. I think that was in her note.
I
at her
may have
house.
farted them a few boxes of Adrena time, but
Okay.
I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
How are you even alive?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
Interesting. Why did you leave camp?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find but a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse? I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
So she's watched a lot of action shows, and she's been influenced with the rebel or the bandit way of life. That's what she's
I've
doing
got
here.
all the time in Halcyon.
It looks like she's doing fine for herself. I'm incentivizing to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
We could persuade her. She does have a friend that she was hanging out watching the shows with And I'd hate to see her get murdered by a random wanderer that comes through town killing marauders. On the other hand, I think that, you know what, I think we're just going to convince her to go back.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
Yeah, Stefan. Stefan's planning to surprise you with an episode of your favorite serial.
Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of The Masked Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is going to be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Okay. That's not something I can loot. This is evicted. Okay, be careful of mines. And this is the door. I kind of want to loot this town real quick. And I wonder if Zoe made it back. Let's actually go check. She's here. Hey, what's going on?
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
Okay.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
I just want to see if you have heavy ammo. I could sell him a whole bunch of stuff. I'll do that later. What is this? Primal leather? Huh. Oh, let's talk to this lady.
What is it?
I talked Zoe into coming back.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
She joined up with a band of marauders. They hadn't hurt her.
Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll wrap up here for today. And first thing next video, I'm going to go ahead and make my decision. We have a lot more information than we had at the beginning of this episode. So, oh, the deserters are now friendly. Well, if I choose against them, we might not like that. We'll have to see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. Take care.